Hot take, but the EA Creator Network is actually sorta a genius idea. Today, there are like hundreds of EA creators around the world, and they do a lot of the marketing for these games at no cost to EA. So for this company, the more people they can add to their network, the better. Literally, my friend's rabbit applied and got accepted. And no, it wasn't even an animal. It's getting weird. And to highlight my point, I actually want to ask you guys a question. Did you know James Charles infiltrated the EA Creator Network? Okay, it wasn't the real James Charles, but in 2019, a Sims YouTuber in the EA Creator Network was accused of engaging inappropriately with minors. What in the James Charles Dickinson? Is that really his name? And he's only 25? I swear I thought he was older. Why do I feel like he said that a few times? Please tell me I'm not the only one who's heard of this. By the way, all the information is verified with links in the description. Sorry to the EA apologists who hate facts. As I said, in 2019, two individuals came forward and revealed that an EA creator by the name of Dylan Sims had been sending them explicit messages and harassing them. These two individuals were 15 and 16 years old at the time, and Dylan Sims, the perpetrator, was 27. The articles in the description go into detail about these specific acts. However, I want to focus more on the way the situation was handled by EA since it involved an EA creator. Long story short, two of the victims got together and were like, what can we do to stop this guy? So they messaged Sim Guru Kate, aka Kate Olmstead, who at the time was the Sims community manager and the person in charge of the Game Changers program. If you're not familiar with Sim Gurus, these are EA employees. They just call them gurus because, I don't know, they're running a cult, maybe? Okay. But guess what? Sim Guru Kate did not respond. So after waiting and getting no reply, they reached out to another Sim Guru, this time a developer for The Sims named Sim Guru Steve. And in this case, he did reply. And after being told that this EA creator was engaging in inappropriate behavior with minors, Sim Guru Steve replied by saying, I don't know if I want to be involved. And did you tell him to stop? Bitch, you better be joking. Wait, can I just repeat that? When these two individuals went and told not one, but two Sim Gurus about an EA creator's illegal behavior, what did EA do? Absolutely nothing! I already know this story and I'm livid right now. Livid. Fast forward 4 months later, the two victims heard that Dylan Sims was targeting yet another teen. And this time, they did something different. They reached out to a Sims YouTuber named Pastel Sims and gave her permission to make a video about the entire situation, exposing everyone. And it wasn't until this call-out video that Dylan Sims stepped down as a game changer. Whether by force or voluntarily, we'll never know. After this video, even more victims came forward, and EA was finally pressured to respond. Enter Lindsay Pearson, who you might know as this lady.
This is the future of The Sims.
Who issued a statement on behalf of EA and the Sims team, where, after confirming that all these events involving Dylan Sims did indeed happen, she said the following: our process to properly investigate and escalate anything of this nature was not followed. Yeah. No shit, Lindsay. An appropriate response would have been to immediately dismiss the Sims Game Changer and take additional steps to ensure our community was protected. Right action here, we are disappointed in how events have unfolded, and we own our responsibility in that. So it's clear as day, EA screwed up. The Sims team itself messed up royally, because they were the ones who were in the position to take away this EA creator's platform, which he was using to abuse minors, and for months they did nothing. But there's something else about this whole situation that almost has me just as upset. Guess how most of the Simmers reacted? They said thank you.
Oh my god!
What in the hell?
What is that?
What? Due to their inaction, literal minors were violated. And the people in this community are thanking them? Nah, bruh. You guys should have held their feet to the fire. But I'm not surprised because this is what the Sims community does. They continue to make excuses for both EA and the influencers who market this game for them, even when they're confronted with their deceit. It has been a pattern for years, and honestly, this level of complacency is embarrassing. To wrap all this up, one of the victims explained that initially he was afraid to come out with this story because of Dylan Sim's status as a game changer. As the article explains, the fear came from knowing that Sims was friends with other game changers as well as in contact with the Sim gurus. He feared that Sims would use his status as a game changer to weaponize his fan base against him if he spoke out. That last part hits hard. Weaponize his fan base against him. That is the kind of power and influence these EA creators have over their audience. So I have another question for you. Who here has been personally victimized by an EA creator? Show of hands? Well, you might relate to this next story. Back in October 2020, Lil Simsy accidentally leaked the Snowy Escape map on her Twitch stream. This was weeks before the pack was even announced. And yes, this is the same pack that she worked on and faked her reaction to, which I discussed in my previous video. But this explains why she had access to the map in the first place. If you're unaware of the story, Lil Simsy was streaming on Twitch, and for about 10 seconds, she accidentally showed the Snowy Escape map on the screen. She abruptly ended the stream and deleted it, but not before one of her followers, who was apparently like 14 years old, took a screenshot and posted it on Twitter. Here's the tweet on the screen as proof. Now, Lil Simsy was apparently so upset by this that she blocked the girl, who again was like 14 years old and actually a huge Lil Simsy fan. Going back and looking at her tweets, it was really sad because she posted an image on Twitter after Lil Simsy blocked her and captioned it with, "I actually loved her, but okay." At that age, she probably idolized Lil Simsy so much. Anyway, Lil Simsy's fans proceeded to harass and bully this girl on Twitter, basically calling her a liar and every name under the sun. And by the way, some of these same people who did this to this girl are still active on Twitter today, and surprise, surprise, they're still nasty AF, period. And to make matters worse, YouTubers like Pixelate and Iron Seagull, they went on Twitter and publicly accused the girl of lying.
Cut the cameras. Fuck you, bitch.
Except a couple weeks later, the Snowy Escape trailer came out and everyone realized the screenshot was real. This girl was not lying. Lil Simsy had leaked the map in her stream.
You lied!
As you can see from the tweets, a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. You were right the whole time." And when it comes to Lil Simsy, obviously people make mistakes. I don't blame her for being embarrassed, but blocking this poor girl and doing nothing while her fans harassed and bullied her is pretty messed up. And the cherry on top is that Lil Simsy never apologized to this girl. She confirmed that Lil Simsy never said sorry for ultimately being responsible for the barrage of hate she received. And as for the other Sims influencers who accused her of lying, Pixelade,
Are you the bitch?
I don't know if he apologized, he doesn't even have Twitter anymore. And Iron Seagull just gave this condescending ass reply. What the fuck? Hold on, can we have an impromptu roast right now? This grown man can't even muster up an apology when in an earlier tweet, he insinuated that this girl was trying to fool everyone and that she's petty. Are you joking right now? He is the petty one, making this subtweet toward this girl, and then in his reply is condescending AF. Oh, you actually seeked out my tweet? Are you kidding me? I'm offended on the girl's behalf. And just on a personal note, I have never interacted with this guy. And just last week, he's in his friend's post making shady comments about me, of all people. This guy and a lot of his friends are literally the wolves in sheep's clothing. There's a lot of nasty people in the Sims community, but I actually respect the ones who are rude AF and direct to your face a lot more than these people who are always making a shady comment.
Do you hear me?
She hears you.
Fine.
Do you hear me?
And I just want to say I'm so impressed by this 14-year-old girl who handled herself so well in this situation when so many people, so many big influencers were accusing her of lying. She stood up for what she said originally. She never wavered. She has a lot more dignity than half of these Sims influencers have, I'll tell you that. Anyway, but the fact of the matter is, Lil Simsy went out of her way to preserve her relationship with EA, cover up her mistakes, and protect her status as an EA creator, even if it meant hurting a young fan in the process. After my last video and seeing how batshit people went over my very minor critique of Lil Simsy, it begs the question, is this really the innocent, unproblematic queen you guys think she is? She's a human and she makes mistakes. But for some reason, some of you have such a parasocial relationship with her that you're like deifying her and going to war for her.
It's getting weird.
I don't think we should put anyone on a pedestal like this. And I feel like the Sims community always takes it to an extreme, like with most things. The truth is, I fucked with your sis, and she's still like a millionaire, building one blue Suburban after the other. I think she's gonna be okay, guys. You don't have to go to war for Lil Simsy. You just look stupid. So next, I want to share with you a situation that shined a light on the incestuous relationship between EA and Sims influencers. Some of you may know that The Sims Mobile officially stopped servicing updates earlier this year, but the game was sorta on its last leg for a while.
Hi guys, Rich Bob here. We need to talk about the state of The Sims Mobile.
It was plagued with broken features, and for a game that was riddled with microtransactions, players were getting pretty fed up with not being able to access the features they had paid real money for. Enter Sim Guru Pedro, the community manager for The Sims Mobile.
So, I'm Sim Guru Pedro for The Sims Mobile,
who decided to DM a handful of prominent Sims influencers. In the DMs, Sim Guru Pedro asked influencers to help, quote, spread positivity about The Sims Mobile and quell the toxicity and negativity that had been brewing in The Sims Mobile community.
It was very Machiavellic in its nature.
Now, let me remind you, this toxicity and negativity were the result of the game being broken. Not him blaming the fans, but luckily one of the influencers who received this message was like, nah, screw this gaslighting that's going on right now. And he shared the DM with his audience, which was like so badass, honestly. And I really admire him for shining a light on what goes on behind the scenes, because we don't really know. And it begs the question, how often does this happen in the Sims 4 community? If you go on Twitter/X, for instance, and I don't recommend anyone does that, it's, you know, it's a cesspool. But if you go there and look at the profiles of the more popular Sims 4 influencers, you'll see that they're sort of buddy-buddy with the Sim Gurus. So who's to say that Sim Gurus aren't in the DMs of these influencers? And who's to say that these gurus aren't also asking these influencers to, quote, spread positivity and help deal with toxicity and negativity that's brewing with The Sims 4? Well, honestly, I think we can assume that it already does happen. Why would we think they aren't?
How little can we get away with?
And if that's the case, where are the checks and balances? There really aren't any, except I guess I'm here. In my last video, I said that the job of EA creators is to market the game. But as for us viewers, this is why I believe we should be even more skeptical of what these creators tell us. That's the entire point of this video and my last one. And to some of you that might be obvious, and I'm glad that you can see through the BS, but there's a lot of young people who watch these creators who don't understand how entangled they are with this company. Lastly, to the small group of rabid Sims 4 stans who have had a lot to say about me on social media, all I have to say is this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
The person that remains in control is the one that wins. She lost her cool. Sorry, Kyle, you lose.